She told me her season demanded a human match, me. But tonight the air felt different, charged with something he couldn't name. The sky shimmered in colors he had never seen before, soft purples, golden streaks, and green pulses that seemed alive. He stopped, his heart beating a little faster. There was a strange hum in the air, like electricity and song combined. Then, from the glow above, she appeared. She was tall, taller than any human, with skin that glimmered faintly in the shifting lights. Her eyes were deep violet, and they seemed to pierce through the night. Her hair moved as if underwater, floating around her head, reflecting the light of the moons. "I am Lysara," she said in a voice that was soft but firm, musical yet commanding. "I have come because my season demands it, and the only suitable match is you." Talon blinked. He wanted to step back to tell himself he was dreaming, but the hum in the air, the way the light danced on her skin, told him this was no dream. "My season? Match?" Talon asked, his voice small. "Yes," she said. "Every century my species awakens for a short season. It is a time of renewal, of life and energy. To survive, I need a human partner. My ancestors have tried with others, but humans are unique. You are the one." Talon swallowed hard. Humans were not known to be the strongest species in the galaxy. They were clever, yes, and persistent, but how could he, a simple human from a small colony, be chosen for something so impossible? I don't understand," he stammered. "Why me?" She stepped closer. Her presence was overwhelming, yet not frightening. "You possess qualities my people have never seen: courage, creativity, empathy. The season requires balance, and you bring it." Talon's mind raced. He wanted to refuse, to walk away and pretend he had never seen her. But part of him felt something deeper, a pull he could not explain. The way she looked at him was not judgmental, not demanding, but expecting. Before he could respond, the ground trembled beneath them. A soft rumble at first, then stronger. A storm was approaching, one that didn't belong in any normal weather report. Tendrils of energy arced across the sky, shimmering like fire and lightning combined. Lysara's expression changed. "We must move. The storm could destroy the sacred path." Talon swallowed his fear. He had always been good in emergencies, quick to think and act. Now it seemed his time had come. The two of them began moving along the cliffs, the wind whipping past. Talon noticed the subtle things about her species: the way her feet barely touched the ground, the way her hair and clothes seemed to float in the wind without effort. Every step she took was graceful, yet purposeful. He struggled to keep up, his legs burning, but he refused to look weak. As they ran, Lysara spoke. "The path ahead is dangerous. My species has walked it for centuries, but none survive without a human partner. The obstacles are not physical alone. They test mind, heart, and spirit. You must be ready." Talon nodded, even though he had no idea what she meant. He trusted her instinctively. Somehow, she seemed to know the universe in a way that humans could never fully understand. The storm hit them with full force. Lightning-like energy crackled across the sky, striking the cliffs near their path. Rocks tumbled down. Talon's heart raced. Every human instinct screamed for him to stop, to find shelter. But Lysara moved forward, her eyes glowing faintly, leading him. A massive energy surge split the cliff ahead, cutting off their path. Talon froze. Lysara looked at him. "Do not falter. Your mind will find the way." It was a simple statement, yet it carried weight. Talon scanned the debris. Rocks, energy currents, and sharp outcroppings blocked the path. Then he saw it, a narrow ledge, almost invisible, that wound around the cliff face. "Here," he said, pointing. "We can go this way." Lysara studied it, then smiled faintly. "Clever. A human mind sees what we overlook." Step by step, they made their way across the ledge. Talon's legs shook, but he felt a rush of pride. He was not just surviving, he was helping her survive. The thought filled him with determination. After what felt like hours, they reached a plateau. The storm receded slightly, revealing a landscape that made Talon gasp. Towering crystalline trees glowed softly, their branches reaching like fingers to the sky. Rivers of light flowed across the ground. Strange creatures moved in the distance, some small and delicate, some enormous and majestic. Everything seemed alive, connected to the energy of the planet itself. "This is my world," Lysara said softly. "Few humans have seen it. Fewer survived to tell the tale." Talon looked around, awestruck. "It's beautiful," she nodded. "Beauty and danger always walk together, and soon you will see the greatest challenge yet. The ritual. My people depend on it, and you are part of it now." He felt a shiver. The weight of responsibility pressed on him. He was not just a visitor, he was chosen, required. His actions could mean life or death, not only for her but for her entire species. Night fell. The sky pulsed with energy. Talon and Lysara found a sheltered spot near a glowing river. She sat gracefully, watching the water. Talon sat beside her, unsure what to say. Silence stretched, but it was not uncomfortable. There was understanding between them, a silent acknowledgement that the journey ahead would be unlike anything he had ever faced. Finally, he spoke. I don't know if I can do this. I'm just a human. I've never faced anything like any of this." Lysara turned to him. "You have already faced more than you realize. Humans are underestimated because your species survives against impossible odds. You adapt, you think, you care. These qualities will carry you further than strength or speed ever could." Her words sank deep into him. He realized she was right. He had survived storms, wild creatures, and dangerous terrain on his own. But now, for the first time, he wasn't alone. And he had a purpose, one that mattered far beyond himself. The wind shifted. A distant roar echoed across the plateau. Talon tensed, Lysara's eyes narrowed. "That sound, a rival faction. They know of my season, they seek to exploit it." Talon felt a surge of fear, but it was quickly replaced by resolve. "Then we fight. We protect your season, no matter what." Lysara smiled faintly. "Yes. But remember, this is not just a battle of force. It is a test of mind, courage, and heart. And you will be the first human to face it." For the first time in his life, Talon felt the full weight of being extraordinary. He had no weapons beyond his mind, no special powers beyond his courage and intelligence. Yet somehow that was enough. The night stretched on. The storm passed, leaving behind an eerie calm. Stars shone brightly, reflected in the glowing rivers and crystalline trees. Talon felt small yet significant. He was a human, fragile, ordinary in some ways, yet capable of shaping the fate of a species far older and wiser than him. Lysara stood, her form glowing softly. "Rest now. Tomorrow we begin the true journey. The path to the sacred site, the first trials and the tests that will prove whether a human can truly match a being like me." Talon nodded. "I'm ready. I think I am." She extended her hand. He took it, feeling a strange warmth and connection. It was more than trust. It was a beginning, a bond that would be tested in ways he could not yet imagine. Above them, the moon shone down, casting silver light across the glowing landscape. The season had begun, and with it, Talon's life would change forever. The first night passed. Quiet, tense, full of anticipation. By dawn, the sun, or whatever passed for it in this alien world, rose, casting long beams through the crystalline trees. Talon felt both fear and excitement. Today, the real journey would begin. The human and the alien together, facing a universe that had never seen a human in such a role before. And somewhere, deep in the forests, unseen eyes watched. Rivals, predators, forces beyond imagination. But Talon felt no doubt. He was human, and humans survived against impossible odds. The season had chosen him, and he would rise to the challenge. The morning light shimmered through the crystalline trees like liquid silver. Talon woke on the soft, glowing moss where Lysara had chosen to rest. His body ached from yesterday's storm and the treacherous climb along the cliffs, yet he felt more alive than ever. Today was the day the real journey would begin, the path to the sacred site where her species, ritual would take place. Lysara was already waiting. Her form glowed faintly in the morning light, and her eyes scanned the horizon with an intensity Talon could not yet match. "Are you ready?" she asked. Talon rubbed his tired arms. "I think I am. I don't know exactly what I'm ready for, but I'll try," she nodded. "That is all that matters. The first test is not strength. It is observation, thought, and choice." Talon followed her as they moved through the alien forest. Every step revealed wonders he could hardly describe. Plants reacted to their presence, opening their glowing flowers as they passed. Creatures, delicate and strange, darted between trees, some flying, some floating on currents of energy. Talon realized he was not just walking through a forest. He was stepping into a living, thinking ecosystem. They reached a clearing where the first trial awaited. It was an ancient stone structure, suspended in the air by forces Talon could not understand. Glowing symbols floated around it, shifting and moving as if alive. Lysara turned to him. "To continue, you must solve the puzzle of the floating stones. It requires perception, logic, and intuition. Humans have a unique way of seeing patterns others do not." Talon stepped forward. His hands shook slightly, but his mind sharpened. He examined the stones. Each one bore a symbol, some glowing brighter than others. He noticed that the brighter ones formed faint lines, a pattern almost invisible unless observed carefully. "Follow the glowing line," he muttered. He touched the first stone. It floated higher, spinning gently. Carefully, he pressed the others in order, following the pattern. With each correct touch, the stones shifted, forming a bridge leading to the next platform. Lysara's eyes glimmered. "Impressive. A human mind solves what others fail to see. Continue." Talon moved carefully, crossing the floating bridge. Halfway across, a surge of energy pulsed through the stones, threatening to knock him off balance. He steadied himself, using his intuition rather than force, and reached the other side safely. The first trial complete, they continued. Lysara's eyes were proud. "You see clearly, human, but the next trial tests heart and courage." The forest grew darker, the air thicker with energy. Shadows moved unnaturally, twisting around them. Strange creatures emerged, not attacking but observing. Their eyes glowed with intelligence. Talon felt the instinct to flee, yet he stayed calm, remembering Lysara's words. "You must pass without harming them," Lysara explained. "Many would fight, many would fail. A human succeeds by thinking, by understanding." A creature stepped into their path, enormous yet fragile-looking. Its body shimmered, blending into the surroundings. Talon noticed it was blocking a glowing pathway, the only way forward. He remembered how humans adapted: patience, observation, creativity. Slowly, he spoke to it in gentle tones, trying to calm it. The creature tilted its head, curious. Talon stepped closer, showing no fear. Minutes passed. Slowly, the creature moved aside, allowing them to pass. Lysara's eyes softened. "Compassion and courage, qualities humans have in abundance. You are proving yourself already." They reached the edge of a glowing canyon. Across it lay the sacred site, floating high above the ground, suspended by energy currents. But between them and it were obstacles unlike any Talon had faced: shifting platforms, energy spikes, and wind currents that could sweep a human off balance instantly. Lysara turned to him. "Here is where humans excel in a way we do not. Use your logic, your courage, and your adaptability. Observe, decide, survive." Talon studied the obstacles. Unlike Lysara's species, which relied on instinct and energy manipulation, he had to rely on trial, error, and clever thinking. He noticed that some of the energy currents formed patterns, rising and falling at regular intervals. Timing became his ally. He ran, leapt, and balanced across platforms. Twice he almost fell, but instinct and observation saved him. Lysara followed closely, impressed by his determination. When he reached the final platform, she extended her hand. "Well done. You are more capable than I imagined." Talon smiled, exhausted but exhilarated. I didn't think I could do it, but I did. Humans always surprise us, she said, and yet the greatest trial is yet to come. The rival faction knows of my season. They will attempt to stop us before we reach the sacred site. No sooner had she spoken than a roar echoed across the canyon. Dark shapes appeared, moving swiftly through the air, their enemies. Talon's heart pounded. He had no weapons beyond his mind and courage. Lysara's eyes narrowed. They seek to exploit the season. We cannot let them reach the sacred site, Talon thought quickly. He remembered the energy currents, the shifting platforms, and the timing he had just mastered. We can use the environment, he said. If we lure them across the canyon, we can slow them down. Lysara raised an eyebrow. Explain, he pointed. The platforms are stable only in certain patterns. If we move carefully, they will follow, but they will struggle with timing. We can guide them, not fight them directly. She nodded slowly. A human solution, clever. Let us try it. Together, they moved across the canyon, deliberately creating patterns that the rival faction could not anticipate. Talon's quick thinking kept them one step ahead. Energy surges, shifting platforms, and gusts of wind became their allies, not enemies. Finally, they reached the final ledge before the sacred site. The rival faction struggled behind them, unable to match the humans' logic. Lysara smiled. Your ingenuity is remarkable. This is why humans are needed. You think in ways no other species can. Talon felt a surge of pride. He realized he was proving more than courage. He was showing that human intellect, creativity, and adaptability were unmatched. The sacred site lay before them, floating in a brilliant pool of energy. Crystalline towers spiraled into the sky, pulsing with the rhythm of Lysara's species' life force. The air vibrated with power, making every nerve in Talon's body tingle. This is it, Lysara said. The final trial begins now. It is not about strength or speed, but connection. The ritual requires synchronization. A human must align heart, mind, and courage with the energy of my species. Can you do it? Talon swallowed hard. I'll try. I have to. She extended her hand again. Then step forward, human. Trust yourself as I trust you. As Talon touched her hand, energy surged between them. The air around the sacred site shimmered, reacting to their presence. Images flickered in Talon's mind, visions of her people, the planet, the energy of life itself. It was overwhelming, beautiful, and terrifying. You are attuning, Lysara said softly. Your heart, your courage, your mind all must resonate with the season. Only then will the ritual succeed. Talon focused. He remembered the trials: observation, compassion, adaptability, ingenuity. Each challenge had prepared him for this moment. Slowly, he felt a rhythm, a pulse, a connection with her species' energy. It was as if the universe itself was responding to him, acknowledging his humanity. The rival faction roared in the distance, attempting one last assault. But the energy around the sacred site flared, forming protective barriers. Talon and Lysara moved together, synchronized. The human's unique ability to understand patterns and think creatively allowed them to fortify the site in ways no other species could. Minutes felt like hours. Energy flowed, shifted, and pulsed around them. Talon's mind and heart raced, but he stayed focused. Lysara's eyes met his, filled with trust and admiration. Together, they created balance, stabilizing the ritual long enough to protect her season. When the energy finally calmed, the sacred site glowed steadily, safe and strong. Talon fell to his knees, exhausted yet exhilarated. He had survived the trials. He had protected her, her species, and proven the unmatched qualities of humanity. Lysara knelt beside him. You have done more than survive. You have shown what humans can do. Your courage, your mind, your heart, it is a rare combination. My people will see you as a hero, as the first human worthy of the season. Talon smiled weakly. I didn't do it alone. No, Lysara agreed. But your presence, your humanity, it made the difference. Tomorrow, the final stage begins. The ritual that completes the season. and you human will be at its center. As night fell, Talon looked at the glowing sacred site, the floating towers, and the vibrant energy of her species. He realized the journey was far from over, but he was no longer just a simple human from a small colony. He was someone extraordinary, capable of facing trials that no other human or alien had faced before. The stars above shone brighter than ever. And Talon understood, with a clarity that made his heart swell, that humanity had a place in the galaxy not because of strength alone, but because of courage, heart, and mind combined. The season's challenges were not over. But Talon knew one thing for certain. Humans could rise to meet any test, no matter how impossible it seemed. And the final trial, the ritual itself, awaited. Dawn broke over the floating sacred site, bathing everything in golden light. Talon stood beside Lysara, staring at the crystalline towers spiraling into the sky. The energy of her species pulsed through the air, vibrant and alive. It felt like the planet itself was watching, waiting. Today was the final stage, the ritual that would complete her season. Talon's muscles ached from the previous day's trials, and his mind was exhausted from thinking, planning, and surviving. Yet beneath the fatigue, a fire burned. He had faced storms, puzzles, dangerous creatures, and enemies. Now he would face the most difficult challenge of all, aligning himself completely with a species far older, wiser, and more powerful than humans had ever been. Lysara approached him. Her violet eyes glimmered with a mixture of pride, trust, and expectation. The ritual requires synchronization, not of strength, not of speed, but of mind, heart, and courage. Are you ready? Talon swallowed hard. I will do my best. That is all a human can do, she said softly, and that is enough. They stepped onto the central platform. Energy swirled around them in intricate patterns, responding to their thoughts and emotions. The air vibrated with power. Talon could feel it tugging at him, testing his resolve. Every nerve in his body tingled. The stakes were higher than anything he had ever imagined. Lysara extended her hand and Talon took it. Immediately, a surge of energy shot through him. He felt the pulse of her species, ancient, powerful, and precise. At first, it was overwhelming. Images flashed before his eyes. The history of her people, the cycles of the season, the balance of life and energy across their world. Talon gasped but held on. He remembered the lessons from the trials. Observe, adapt, think, stay calm. Slowly, he began to feel the rhythm beneath the chaos. It was like learning a dance, step by step. His mind and heart began to align with hers, finding patterns in the energy, connecting with the flow of her species' life force. You are attuning, Lysara said, her voice steady. Focus, trust yourself, trust your humanity. The rival faction, though weakened from the previous day's failures, appeared in the distance, determined to disrupt the ritual. Dark ships and strange creatures descended upon the sacred site. Talon's heart raced. He had no weapons, nothing but his mind and courage. Lysara placed a hand on his shoulder. Do not fear them. The energy responds to connection, not force. If you synchronize fully, the ritual will protect us. Talon took a deep breath. He closed his eyes, letting go of panic and doubt. He focused on the lessons he had learned: patterns, timing, creativity, and compassion. Slowly, the energy around them shifted. Shields formed naturally, guided by the synchronization of human and alien energy. The rival faction struggled against invisible barriers, unable to penetrate the site. Talon opened his eyes. Lysara's glow had intensified. You are doing it, she said. You are the first human to truly match the season. As they moved deeper into synchronization, Talon felt a strange connection to the alien world. He could sense the energy of the sacred site responding to him, following his thoughts and decisions. He could feel the pulse of the rivers, the shimmer of the crystalline towers, the rhythm of Lysara's species. It was overwhelming but also exhilarating. Suddenly, a new challenge appeared. The energy around them began to swirl faster, forming intricate patterns that demanded instant decisions. Mistakes could break the synchronization and collapse the ritual. Talon's mind raced. He remembered how he had solved puzzles before, navigated storms, and outsmarted enemies. This was similar, only larger, more intense. He reached for the simplest solution: focus on the fundamentals. Observe the patterns, stay calm, and trust his instincts. Slowly, step by step, he adjusted to the flow, aligning his heartbeat with the rhythm of the energy. The swirling patterns responded, calming as he found the correct balance. Lysara's eyes shone with pride. Your humanity is your strength. Your courage, adaptability, and intelligence have allowed you to do what no other species could. You are not just surviving, you are shaping the ritual itself. Talon felt a surge of power and clarity. For the first time, he realized humans had something no other species possessed: the ability to combine mind, heart, and courage in unpredictable ways. In that moment, he understood why she had chosen him. The rival faction, sensing their failure, made a final, desperate move. A massive energy surge from their machines aimed to disrupt the ritual, targeting the platform where Talon and Lysara stood. The energy crackled, threatening to break through the protective shield. Talon acted without hesitation. He focused on the rhythm of the site, analyzing the flow of energy, and predicted where the surge would strike. Using nothing but thought and timing, he guided the energy away, channeling it safely into the surrounding structures. The rival attack failed spectacularly. Lysara's glow intensified, and the sacred site thrummed with perfect harmony. Talon's synchronization was complete. For the first time, the energy of her species and his human essence flowed as one, stable, powerful, and balanced. "You did it," Lysara whispered. "You have matched the season." Talon looked around. The sacred site glowed brighter than ever, the energy flowing perfectly. The rivers of light shimmered, the towers pulsed with rhythm, and the surrounding creatures observed in silent awe. The rival faction, unable to comprehend what had happened, retreated in defeat. Talon felt a mix of exhaustion and elation. He had survived impossible trials, protected an entire species, and proven that humanity was more than physical strength. Humans could face the unimaginable, think beyond limits, and adapt to challenges no one else could. Lysara extended her hand. Talon took it, feeling warmth and connection unlike anything he had ever known. It was more than trust, it was partnership, respect, and recognition. Together, they completed the final moments of the ritual. Energy surged around them, bright and pure, stabilizing her species, seasoned for another century. When the light dimmed, the sacred site remained, calm and radiant. Lysara turned to him, eyes shining with gratitude and admiration. "You have done what no one else could. You have shown humanity at its finest. Your courage, intelligence, and heart have changed the course of my people's history." Talon smiled, exhausted but proud. "I just did what I had to do. I didn't think it would matter so much." "It matters more than you know," she said softly. "Humans have always been underestimated. Today, you proved we were wrong to doubt you. Your species has a place in the galaxy, not because of strength alone, but because of your mind, heart, and courage combined." For the first time, Talon understood the true meaning of HFY humanity, F***K. Yeah. Humans were not the fastest, the strongest, or the most advanced. But in moments of crisis, in trials that seemed impossible, humans rose. They thought, adapted, and survived in ways others could not. The season was safe. The rival faction had been defeated. Lysara's people would honor the human who had saved them. And Talon, the simple young man from a distant colony, had become a legend. As the two stood on the glowing platform, the wind whispering around them, Talon realized something else. The journey had changed him. He would never see the universe the same way again. He had touched something extraordinary, and it had touched him in return. Lysara smiled, her hand still in his. "The season is complete, but our bond remains. You will always be remembered as the human who matched a species beyond your own." Talon nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility and pride at once. He had started as a simple human, chosen by circumstance. But he had ended as something greater, a symbol of human ingenuity, courage, and heart. Above them the skies shimmered, the twin moons reflecting in the rivers of light. The galaxy, vast and mysterious, had seen humanity in a new way, and for Talon that was enough. The trials were over. The season was safe. And humanity had proven once again that even in the face of unimaginable challenges, they could rise, adapt, and triumph. Talon looked at Lysara, at the glowing towers, at the energy flowing through the sacred site, and for the first time he smiled without doubt. He was human. And humans, he realized, could achieve the impossible.